All right. So, active perks are very
What about
important,
I
and
don't know about that.
it can completely dictate how you play a character and makes them just better than they are.
I'm gonna dictate
Or they could
how
be
everyone
something,
plays their characters.
or they could be something that you just forget that you have, but will save your entire team.
I don't often forget what my actors are.
Well, that's because you're a bit more competent than I am.
Yes.
So,
So they say.
Shield Link, I think, is an A. Definite A.
I think you're right.
Good.
All right, move on. No.
A, definitely A.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we can put it in A, I suppose. But
Yeah, put it in
Because
A
it's
now.
really
something
good,
about
but it's
it.
not like OP or anything.
It's like the best of both worlds. Shield Link as a passive active is still good. There is still
Yeah.
a definite
Yeah.
buff. Like, you could go without even actually using it the entire game, and it's still not a negative. But then
Exactly.
As long as you're using it on anyone but Scout.
Scout,
Because Scout's rarely near his
I
teammates,
guess,
so it's
but
going to be less useful.
he can zip in and insta like
The
some
active is
charac-
really useful, the passive is less.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. So
Mhm.
it kind of mixes out and makes it like it is good
That's why I
for
actually
every
use it on
character.
Gunner, because
basically-
people just accumulate around Gunner.
All right. Stop.
It is good for
talking over each
basically
other.
every character all the time, except there is a point where it's completely useless, which is
Yeah, that is when you're playing on your own.
that and shield disruption.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's true.
yes.
And
True,
with
yeah, that too.
deep dives, shield disruption is more common than you would like, which means bringing shield links into deep dives is a bit of an issue.
I've done that a couple of times
Yeah.
when I've been playing Gunner and forgotten that I use that.
Yeah,
Then I've been in a shield disruption, like, well, what do I do?
yeah. Now you're down on active, but I think it's still easily an A. But
Yeah,
I think it's
still
probably
easily an A.
but I
think
think
Things are allowed
probably
to have a
insane.
weakness.
yeah, and its weakness is one negative
Or
warning.
a mutator. But
Yeah.
mutators can be used or
And playing on
non-use.
your own, which even that is it useless?
When yes, 100%. It's
Does it
there
not
is no
active
literally
with
zero
boss
use
code?
of it. No, it should. I'd love that. If the passive would work, but it would still not be very good. I
Next
think.
perk.
Shut up, bitch. I think that if something's just useless when you're playing on your own, that shouldn't really have much to say about whether you put
Because
it.
you don't have to play on your own.
Yeah, and like, even if you play on your own, you can still
Yeah,
join
you don't
people
have to use it.
as well. That's another thing. But yeah, I think Shield Link
It's,
is also
it's made for teams.
Shield Link is also so strong with a team that it could be an S. Reasonably, it could be an S, but it's more of an A. But
Yeah.
yeah, it is still like
I still think we might actually get pushback on that one, to be honest. But
well, I think we
I think
all
it belongs in
agree
A.
in A. Like,
yeah, and we
Although-
represent.
Yeah, it's just
In all
really,
fairness,
really nice.
if by the end there's like no S's, then I think Shield Link would be the first to go up. Really,
Or well,
but I doubt we'll come to that.
there is an S, and I think we both know what it is.
I
And I
have
get
a-
the feeling
a
neither of us
couple
are going
S's.
to back down on it. You have a couple. I don't know if I have one.
Yeah.
Actually, I might have
Speaking of one of my S's, See You in Hell. I
one. Right.
adamantly believe that See You in Hell is an S.
And I understand why you think that, but you're wrong.
It's
It is-
fantastic for Tyler because he spends most of the game down.
Well, yeah, you'd think that, and you're not wrong. But with it, it's amazing when you go down, right? I mean, I know that you just said, but like, it is the best thing to have. I say it's better than Iron Will. Obviously, if you're on your own, then but like, it means that you can safely be revived. There's very little times where you can't. If you have a scout on your team, a scout can't just zip in, revive you, and get out. It is
Unless it's
basically
insta-res.
well, yeah, they can do that anyway, yeah. But with that like electrical sphere around you, you are basically in a worse gunner's shield that you can activate 3 times a match, no matter your class. And I think that in its own is definitely like
That is true.
B.
If you
'cause
use
you
it
do
well,
have
that
to
is
go
just
down.
3 reses, where an Iron
Yeah.
Will's only 1.
Yeah.
I was going to say that I kind of have to trust your word on this. Like, I don't necessarily have to agree with you, but I don't have much of an opinion on it. But
You have used it often.
I've had a lot of experience with
The
it.
passive is
I've
also
had a lot
really
of
good.
experience with it, with you
Yeah.
using it, and from that I can say that I really like you having it.
Yeah. If you notice that you go down often, which I do, it is a really good perk to have. If you are incompetent, it's S tier, right? On its own, with just a revive thing. And I know that's bad to say, but that is a thing. But then it's passive. I don't exactly remember the exact details, but it is if you get hit, you do more damage.
Do you want me to
back,
read the
right?
description?
If you want, yeah.
It doesn't tell you the damage
Right after an
increase.
enemy hits you with a melee attack, you get a temporary melee damage bonus.
Yeah. That is hella strong. For two reasons. First
It
of all,
gives you 20 more damage for normal pickaxe hits.
yeah. Because for two reasons. First of all, on lower
The normal
on,
pickaxe
that's
is
45.
25.
yeah, on lower hazards, right? The enemies not only do less damage to you, so they barely break your shield, but you could then insta-kill them with the pickaxe. A single
can.
pickaxe hit.
You can actually one-shot them in the face, can't you?
Yeah, you can. So
Once.
not only is it way easier to activate on lower difficulties, but it's way stronger. So it's hella good for lower difficulties to have. But also, it's not bad higher up. If you tie it with other things like the drills, then it also works on that. I think actually does it.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It only works on a normal pickaxe swing.
Not
That's
even on
it.
Berserker. Not even on Berserker. Like,
But I say
Not
you
the power
get a
attack, no.
temporary melee damage bonus.
Yeah.
So I guess they didn't word it very well in the perk thing.
No.
Because there are a couple of melee weapons.
I guess
Yes.
that I never actually noticed that because usually I tie that with like Berserker,
Assuming that the
drills,
wiki
and
is
axe.
accurate.
I imagine they tested it. But if that is the case, I mean, as much as I personally, it's an S tier for me, I do agree that it is only useful if you go down and get hit, which is bad things to rely on.
So
on
I
a
think
thing.
what neither of us other two have given our grade.
I want to put it high A.
I want to put it low A.
All right.
Ooh.
I was thinking
What
it's
does that
going to go in
Because-
B. I was thinking you guys it was going to end up in B.
No, it's.
No,
I
I
don't
understand how
really
good it
like
is.
it that much, but for you, like you having it, it's so nice for us, especially as I play Scout. It's so much nicer to be able to res you easily.
I have a lot of respect for it. I just there's other stuff I much prefer having in general.
Yeah, and I think like
so maybe A is too
minimum
generous.
case scenario, even if you're like the best person in the world, it still has a use. Because you can use the fact that they're only attacking your shield to kill them easily without using any ammo. So even if you aren't sucking ass, it still has a use. So I think A is definitely fair enough. Now, as much as Harry's not too fond of the idea, should I put it in front or behind Shield Link? Like, would you put it closer to S or closer to B?
Personally,
Closer to B.
Yeah.
personally closest to B, just
Right.
because Shield Link's so good.
Okay.
But for you, I do think it'd be a pop.
To be honest, I actually think they're fairly equal when I think about it. 'Cause I don't.
I mean, they're both very
probably use-
strong, like, team things.
The active perks are actually very balanced, aren't they?
They are very
that-
good, yeah.
Why did I try and correct you to the wrong thing?
Because you're an idiot.
No, I was going to say that at some point. I was going to say the active perks are pretty well balanced. It's probably the reason why they haven't touched perks in a while.
Yeah, because most people forget about the passive ones, really.
And even with the passive ones that aren't that great, it's still a good selection
Yeah.
of good ones.
Like, in all fairness, as much as it's kind of sad that they've left perks to rot as far as gameplay stuff goes, they were left to rot in a good way. You know what I mean? Like, it's like cheese, right? It's not that bad of a thing that they're rotten, because they're pretty good to begin with. Actually, I
They're
don't
not
know how cheese
rotting. They're
works.
just growing.
They're not
They're just
rotting.
growing mold,
Yeah.
and the mold is unstoppable and second wind and loot bug lover. No, it's a bug thing. Anyway, we should probably talk about the active perks. How about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Next perk.
Iron Will.
Iron Will.
Iron Will. Honestly, it used to be an S.
It
used to be
an
above
S.
S.
No, yeah, it used to be like I would run it non-stop and it would constantly save us. But at this point in time, I mean, I go down, but we never enter a point where all of us are down. Mainly because of Harry and the fact that he's just doesn't go down. But also, like, yeah, we're never in a position where an iron wheel is needed. And
Yeah, enough about that. Let's talk more about me.
and if it is, then it won't help. You coming back usually can't overcome the situation. It's usually too big of an issue.
Iron Will's weird. Iron Will has a lot going on, but it's also very restrictive. There's a lot of things that it does when you actually read it. But it's stored within one 12-second period. For a whole mission.
What does it do?
Well, let's read. Once per mission, get back into the fight with all your weapons reloaded and a rage-fueled strength for 12 seconds. One is that you move faster, hit harder, and are resistant to slowdowns. Now, the hit harder thing, I'm going to have to look that up because...
I assume that's pickaxe damage.
Yes, so do I.
Which I didn't actually know. I just thought it brought you back and made you invulnerable for a period of time.
See, we're in a really awkward position, though, because I wouldn't know where to put this because of what we've already done. Because I know if we put it lower than A, we're going to get so much shit.
I don't
It
care,
has to be lower than A, though.
But yeah, no.
It's just not good enough to be on
I know,
par
I
with
agree.
the two in there
I
currently.
actually agree.
I think, it is by no means a bad shout. But if you play at a low enough hazard, or play with good enough people, or are the good enough people, it just isn't useful. It is equal to... It's worse that it's a bug thing. It does less for the team
Well,
and
okay,
you.
hold on.
If you
I don't
never
know
go
about
down, it does nothing.
that. No, there's a reason I never use it.
Yeah. Like,
You
and,
get that a lot,
and I
you don't
mean,
use it.
I'm not using that to justify a D. I'm just saying that it's nice to have.
It doesn't
But
complement any certain type of player.
yeah,
either.
all it really does is if you notice that you're going down a shit ton, or your team sucks ass, and you're trying out a new hazard level and you're trying to get used to it, I think an iron wheel is a good thing to pick.
Yeah, but the thing is, if we're being honest, at its best, it can save a mission.
Yeah, but I feel
But-
like, you might not have gone down in the first place if you had a better active perk, and that's a take, I guess. But
Like hover boots.
maybe, yeah. No, seriously though, because most of the time, if it's an entire team wipe, you usually just all fell off a giant hill or like fell down one of those stupidly long tunnels, right, to the bottom.
I want to put it in C, but I think B only because it can save a mission and it's the only thing that can do that.
Yeah.
I'm
Straight
going to
up.
put it in S because I'm scared.
I
No, B is where
I think it
comes to me.
is. When you use the ability, it's unrivaled. Nothing else can do what it does, but you don't
said
always need it to be
unrivaled.
done.
For anyone who thinks he said unrightful. Because I did.
I didn't.
Right.
Okay.
Probably the only person on the planet.
Yeah, well, that's because I'm smarter than everyone. So, in regards to it hitting harder, it is just for pickaxe damage, but it
Yeah, it kind of makes
times
sense.
2.5 pickaxe damage, and it divides your power attack cooldown by 3 as well.
And I mean, I like how we've not mentioned like the fact that you get back up doesn't inherently mean that you're alive again as well. Of
Yeah.
course, like chances are you are going to come back because if you're smart, you're using vampire or there's a drop nearby or sugar. But
You've got some brain damage if you
I
don't
know.
use Vampire with Iron Will.
Iron Will's interesting because I get the feeling we're going to get some factors. I also can't imagine
I think
anyone
it
being able
is
to
an
put forward a good argument.
It's an S tier ability, but it doesn't always get used. So I don't think
Yeah.
it's worth bringing. That's why I think it's a
Yeah.
I think we all agree B.
Yeah,
Yes, it's weird 'cause it's very powerful but not very useful.
yeah. Okay.
Yes, that
That's
summarises
better.
it well.
Hover boots.
No, I know it does, Thomas. 'cause
I
I'm
would
smart.
put hover boots. What did I just say?
Mr. Hover boots.
I would put hover boots.
Hover boots.
Shut your mouth.
Bother hoops.
Honestly, I put it in C.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause
Yeah.
I find it
At
such
best.
a hassle to activate.
Yeah.
It's just such a pain in
And
the
it's
arse.
not even that good.
The only reason you'd
I
need it
only
if you have a
use it as
shitty
scout.
engineer and you're a scout. Like,
Yeah.
And even
Yeah, I
then,
don't
its
think you really use it for
cooldown
the
is like too
minerals.
long as well, so you can't even
If
use
you're
it
a scout,
regularly.
I'm a big advocate for this. Shotgun that makes you jump.
Yeah, but then when you're
Yeah.
up there, you have to stay up there to do anything, really, don't you?
Grapple.
The cooldown is 75 seconds. It's not that bad, really, is it? That's
It
not
is.
such a good
Considering you would use this to zipline up, or not zip, grappling hook up to a mineral, right, like a nitra, and then mine it with the hover boots. But there's more
Or to do them
minerals up there.
safely.
There's more minerals up there, but you have to wait 75 seconds to mine them, because like you might as well just use an engineer. Like it's
Hover
just
boots is like a good idea.
Or you can scout is you grapple up and then pickaxe charge attack into the wall, and then you can sort of like then you have a
Yeah,
small indent
yeah.
that you sit in.
You can, and that's another thing. Like obviously that's awkward, but it is better than like. Well, if you don't have an engineer, there's still an option there. It's awkward, but it's still kind of better than hover boots. You know what I mean?
When you could bring like another
I
perk.
do use it as a scout
Yeah.
all the time, pretty much though.
And-
So I think it's good. You can
Yeah,
get out of
obviously,
situations
yeah.
without really thinking. You can just grapple to the
But
ceiling.
the thing is
and
that
you don't
then-
need to worry about coming back down.
That then cancels
why I use
out
the
its
shotgun.
like other use, kind of, because its other use is preventing dying from falling, right? But Scout
Yeah.
takes less fall damage, so it's less of an issue. I mean, obviously it's
And
because
you
he
have
has
the
more
jumpy
of a
shotgun.
risk, and yeah, he has more maneuverability abilities.
I just use it for convenience, I suppose.
yeah, but I
And I think it's a better alternative to dash for scout.
See,
honestly, if nothing else gets put in D,
well, because D is it just sucks. Like
D
it's
is where
bad.
Yeah.
D is where Berserker belongs. Be quiet, shut up, Tyler. Don't hear it.
all right. Well, speaking of D, heightened senses.
What?
What?
Oh no.
Heightened senses is great.
What? I was gonna put it in. I was gonna put it in there.
The fuck you was.
I was gonna put it in like A.
B.
I think it's S if you're playing solo. It is.
Well, no, because solo's like
It
the best. You don't need to do solo. Bosco will
Yes,
save you.
you
Bosco
do.
is far more
Bosco
reliable.
Can't kill a cave leech
It can.
on Hazard 5. You can't
No.
do it.
It's
Most of the
still
time
more,
people fail to
Bosco
kill
is
the cave
still
leech
more
in Hazard
reliable
5.
than teammates to
No,
kill the
what?
thing.
No, if what Harry's saying is true, which it probably is because he plays solo has fives a lot. If Bosco cannot
you-
kill a cave leech, then that is just you need heightened senses.
I would rather that you took my word on issues regarding solo play. Most of the time, Bosco can't actually finish with a cave leech, or at least my configuration of Bosco can't, and he has increased damage and electric rounds. So
Did you try and do that to make sure that he could kill them? And he still didn't.
yeah, and he does. He can do it. It does happen sometimes.
And especially if you're a scout as well, separated from everyone else. Like, you don't even need to use the active. The passive will save you so many times.
Yeah, in a way, I do think.
And it
the passiv's
also
almost
doesn't just work
better
against
than
cave
the
leeches,
active.
but it's useful against the trawlers, which are a pain in
Well,
the arse.
Macaro
And then
grabbers
Macaro
also.
grabbers as well, which are a pain in the arse.
Well, no, it doesn't belong in.
I
can't
use
believe
it
you, I can't
specifically
believe
to
you're
kill
gonna do
trawlers
that.
easily.
Well, no, I
Like,
just.
I'll try and get grabbed by a trawler so I can just kill it because they're so annoying to kill because they just go under the ground and you can't shoot them. And they just keep bashing you or whatever. So I just sit
Unless you
there,
have
let it grab me
neurotoxin.
and kill it instantly. Yeah, unless you have neurotoxin.
Because neurotoxin.
But
is,
it's not just that it's for
something else.
cave leeches. It's just so good. And it will just save you.
Okay. Tyler, do you actually think it's bad?
I just don't use it. I'd just rather get grabbed than
Mm.
you guys will save me.
So, okay. Well, Tom, where would you put it?
Hey,
I think I don't
As a
know.
scout-
I
as a scout
really
main.
don't know. Because it is I think it is S tier for as a solo player. My active perks are always dash and heightened senses. I change heightened senses for multiplayer though, which maybe speaks to it where it should
Yeah.
go.
because for solo, S, but
I think
multiplayer,
something could
I
definitely
think
be
A.
said that we took Shield Link isn't S because it's useless in solo, and Heightened Senses is kind of useless with other people. So I feel like you can't, in good faith, put it in S.
It's not useless with other people if you're scout.
I agree with that.
Well, as a driller, I'm normally up with you in the front. In fact, ahead of you, even.
It's also good in like clutch scenarios, I suppose, when the rest of the team's down.
Yeah, and like I said,
it's
it's not just
multiplayer, but I do
cave
take it off
liches,
every time
crawlers
I
and
play with other people.
grabbers.
I do something else. So, being realistic, I would put it in B. Because I think it's good enough in solo, and it has some uses in multiplayer.
I'm fine with B. I just wanted to keep it away from S because I do not think it's S at all.
I don't think it's S either. Because, I mean, it's S in solo, but not S in multiplayer at all.
But
No,
then
it's like
I
C
do not
in
see it on the
multiplayer.
same as Shield Link and See You in Hell at all.
No, neither do I, so I put it in B.
Yeah. Closer to A or closer to C than I.
Closer to A. Definitely closer
Or
to A.
B. It's just B to me.
Right. I guess it'll be mid then. Alright.
Closer to A, because I say it's an S tier
Yeah.
in solo and a C tier in multiplayer. So
Alright.
it's in between A and B. I
And A
suppose.
is scout.
Okay. Field Medic.
Field medic.
What is it? It does two things, doesn't it? It increases
Yes.
reviving generally.
Which is
and-
amazing.
Revive teammates 30% faster, and upon reviving someone, enemies flee around.
Which
you.
is fantastic.
That's part of the passive.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I think field medic is my go-to. Like, what I swap heightened senses to when I'm playing with other people,
Other people being me.
because I'm usually, if people are down, it's usually not me.
People being me.
Yeah, I have
No.
it on
And
all
the,
of my
and
characters.
the other green beards.
It's the only things I have on every character.
Never bothered.
Yeah, because
Alright, so
you're
you
never the
probably
last
should-
one alive.
Probably shouldn't say anything about it. What do you think about it, though? Actually,
It saved your ass a bunch of times.
I don't know. I definitely think it's A pushing S. I'd be fine with it being an S. But
I
as,
would wanna
as
put
far
it in
as
S.
like seeing
I
what
want to put it in S, to be honest.
other people have used, right? Two things. First of all, if two people are reviving you, then its effects are pointless. Which I guess is not really saying anything, but it just throwing it
it
out
depends on the scenario.
there. And I've not seen a random use it well. They have always just insta-revived in the weirdest times and like wasted it.
Yeah, they do that.
You got to save the insta-res until like you're the last person left,
Yeah.
and you need to use it.
Yeah, because if on someone's body there's like, I don't know, just like 5 grunts or something, and they might end up hitting me a couple of times, that's fine, because they're going to run away when I'm done, and I'm going to do it quite quickly still. I
Yeah.
don't need to insta-res.
Like,
I think the passive is actually better than the active in this case. So that's the
honestly,
weird thing.
it's more useful because I mean the thing's only a one-time use per game, right? It's like
Yeah.
Iron Will, so I think
But the insta-res is great because
it is great.
if you're
Obviously, but like
because you can res people when there's tons of bugs around them,
yeah, I know.
which is good as when you're scout
It's
and you
good-
can't kill
it's good
everything, and you're like
always.
last one, got to grab them.
But
Go
yeah,
out of there.
I think honestly, its passive alone is probably
So-
S.
Well, what I would propose is, how much difference would it make if it had more than one, if it had 2 uses?
None.
Easy.
Or,
Yes.
easier. But I think it's more that you want to preserve the insta. So its
Yeah.
passive is the main part of it, with its
Yeah.
its active being just a very nice thing making it
Yeah,
S. It's an
The
S.
passive is, yeah,
It's an S.
It's an S.
Because the passive is good enough where you don't feel the need to use the active more often than not, which is why it's only one. You only get one.
Well,
use
it's just
of it.
so good, and you're going to get use out of it. Really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
somebody's going to go down once. at
Yeah,
least.
and if they don't, then it's still it's
It's basically Iron Will, but you don't need to be in a clutch scenario for it to be useful.
it's Iron Will, except you're the one that doesn't go down, so you don't
Yeah.
really need to carry it. Dash. I'm going first as usual before Harry gets his fucking jaw open and spews his passionate love. I think it's an A. I think it has a very its cooldown is nice. You can use it constantly, reliably, and its use
second that notion.
is good. But all it does is the dash, isn't it? Which, in all fairness, is enough, admittedly. But considering most other perks have a additional part, it is lacking in that regard. But I do think it still carries itself, so I'm going A.
Tom, would you like to?
I second
up.
his, because I need to get it out of the way before you go.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really have much to say.
Yeah, it's just everything you have to say is love-filled passion.
Well, I don't know. Well, the thing is, I don't use it on Scout ever.
That's
Yeah,
just
no
So
point.
there's that to say about it. But I do.
Because that's
think
just what the
it belongs in
grapple
S.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the grapple's fault. It's not Dash's fault.
But the issue,
That's
this issue
important.
thing, I think you compensate quite a bit. Because do you, correct me if I'm wrong, use it on literally every other character with every build
Yes.
they have, constantly, all the time?
Solo or multiplayer, and you're
Yes.
always
No matter
talking
what.
about how much you love it.
And
Yes.
I watch you use it constantly for various reasons. Like to survive, to make jumps that you normally can't. That's you as an engineer leaping across
Get in
the
front
ceiling.
of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think it belongs in S. I do kind of. The problem is, I kind of. My heart tells me it's like the best perk in the game, basically. But because they could have made it. How could they have made it useful for Scout, basically? I don't know. And I think they knew that. They just needed Dash to be a thing. So I don't know. I can't tell if I should fault it for that or not. I can't tell.
I think Dash would have been better if it maybe like if Second Wind or Unstoppable was a part of it. If you know what I mean, because the dash.
Second Wind should be Dash's passive.
Yeah.
But Dash makes up for not having a passive because of its short cooldown.
It's
and
cooldown,
for the
yeah.
usage.
It's still.
It basically is a passive. Because it's basically Second Wind, but much better.
Except that it isn't
Really.
necessarily a passive. It's an active. You have to actively use it, and sometimes you might do it accidentally, which is.
Well, it's a passive to me.
Well, I guess it is. It's second nature to you, I imagine.
Yeah.
But
Every 25 seconds, though. You're not going to need it any really more than that.
No, sometimes I do wish I did need it more.
I imagine yes. I mean, it would be nice
Which,
to have all the
in
time.
my opinion, aids its, prestige. I
What?
don't know. Okay, so what I'm going to ask then is where you would place it within the A tier.
Oh, probably above shielding and see you in. Well, I mean, I hate to sit above see you in hell, but I'm putting my love aside and admitting that if on a most missions dash is useful and a constant nice thing to have. And
I think in between Shield Link and See You in Hell.
I think it's above shield link.
Right.
I would pick it over shield link any day of the week.
Although we probably should discuss it, part of what it does, which it says you ignore all slowdown effects.
Yeah, which is a lie.
Many times it's a lie. It's not a lie, right? It's the dash itself pushes you through slowdown effects. It doesn't stop you from getting stunned while you're dashing. But if you've already been stunned,
I
you can
know,
dash
but they'll do it
out
just
there.
again.
They're not that. And if they're already in if the slasher's already in mid swing, yeah, probably. But it's not a lie, and I don't know if that necessarily brings it down.
Well, I
You think we can all agree A?
definitely yeah. But I think
Oh,
I'd
well, what's
pick it over
something
shield
TNA?
link. I'd pick it over shield link. Definitely.
I don't agree, but I don't think you're unreasonable in saying that.
Let's just mention that dash is useful no matter what, right? Shield
Other than
link,
Scout.
solo. Well, but even then,
That's
you can
not a
use it in
situation,
Scout,
though.
right? You can double
Yeah.
up. It's not a good idea. It isn't a good
No.
idea. Don't do it. But you could, and you would be the quickest man in the West. You know what I mean? You'd be booking it.
Oh,
Dash,
because- yeah,
grappling
yeah.
hook, dash.
Scout also does have a lot of ways of increasing his mobility on the ground.
Exactly.
The grappling hook is part of that. But does that actually help
Like
Dash or bring
the
it down?
grappling hook, like I can say, the grappling hook cancels out second wind. That was not unreasonable to say, but the grappling hook does not cancel out dash. It makes it less useful, but it does not cancel it out.
Yeah. I suppose you could
I
use
just
it
have
if you can't find
absolutely
basic
zero
weapons.
need for it with the shotgun and the grapple.
Shut your mouth about the
Tom,
shotgun.
everyone who plays Scout has zero need for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
well,
just
Tyler was
not
saying
useless.
it's there.
You
Yeah, it's
can
even not
still
useless on
use
Scout.
it, and it still does what it does. It's just not
And I
necessary.
think we've already established that its shortcomings with Scout
So
Yeah.
top of A so far.
aren't really
Top of
worth
A,
considering.
Almost S, but not quite.
Okay.
I think if it had a passive, or it was useful for all the characters, then maybe S, or definitely S. But
Yeah, but I don't know if I don't agree that it's worse than Field Medic though. I think they're pretty much the same because I think they're an amazing combo as well.
well, yeah, but
I mean, I don't have the ruling vote, or at least I don't have the majority, obviously.
There's this amazing thing called compromising.
Yeah,
so
when
what? Harry, you
compromise
think
and
it should be an
putting
S? Tom, you think it should be what?
In between Shield Link and Seaman now.
All right,
Because I'm a big Shield
and I'm
Link
fine
fan.
where it is. So this is where we are all medium comfortable.
Yeah,
All right then.
It's the
That's why.
highest end of A.
Here,
So far.
If it had any passive at all, it would be an S.
this is now going to be
guess.
part 2 of my love rant. Berserker.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, we'll do what we did last
Right.
time. You two say your piece.
Mhm. Mhm.
Is that your opinion on Berserker?
Berserker is Dash for rednecks, basically.
What do
That's
you
what
mean
I'm
by
gonna
that?
say.
I mean,
Tom?
I think it's great.
Do you?
I
Do
think
you?
the cooldown's a bit long.
Cooldown
but-
is its biggest problem.
No,
Yeah.
cooldown is not his biggest problem. I'll tell you the one issue I have with Berserker, which I guess cooldown is a part of, but my main issue is that I accidentally activate it all of the time. Every goddamn time. The fact that it's like, if you use your, super pickaxe swing, well, it's already on cooldown. It's so
Super pickaxe
because
swing.
you zone out the pickaxe charge. You stop seeing it. You just assume you have it back, no matter how long
I
ago you did it.
Don't.
Then
I
Because
don't
I-
either.
I
That's
know, wouldn't if I was using Berserker.
problem. Yeah. I don't anyway, and I wouldn't with Berserker.
so like I'll kill a singular grunt, and then I'll go to get some ebonite like 5 seconds later, and then I'm berserking with no enemies nearby. I'm like, God. Otherwise, it's amazing. I love it. Does it do something else? Or
No. I don't know, man. I just
think
think it's
A.
fun.
I'm surprised you put it in A.
I don't want to put it in S, really. I don't think it
No,
deserves that.
because that would be retarded.
Calm down.
Where would you put it in?
See?
What? You're crazy.
You
Your
think it's
opinion has been
worse
void.
than Iron Will? The ability that is barely useful, and if it is, it only can be used once. Well, Berserker can save your life given the right time, and can be used multiple times throughout
And
a
if
mission.
not, just saves a bunch of ammunition.
Ton of ammunition.
There's also splash attack, which is incredible if you're scout. Which is why I use it on scout.
He's on Scout.
Because I don't have really good...
Someone
Splash.
was judging just now. Using
Yeah,
it
well,
on
my-
scout. Okay. I just use it on my driller build that is pure ammo conservation, and because that is amazing for it. I would argue the best here
Yeah.
for ammo
How
conservation.
is it... I don't know why would you even use them Driller.
Because there's a lot of frozen enemies, Harry.
Somehow-
I need to pickaxe.
It's also
quickly.
good combined with vampire as well, isn't it?
Somehow I
Very.
thought you would actually be best on engineer, which is weird,
Harry,
isn't it?
it's good on everything, mate. That's because it's amazing. It's
You're right. You're right. It's the same for everybody.
But yeah, tied with vampire,
I'll leave that.
tied
Open-ended.
with. Well, I thought it used to be good mixed with Seer and Hell because it would increase the damage, but according to you, it doesn't,
Yeah.
which is a shock. But then again, it's not that bad either because you do normally get off a normal pickaxe hit as well. Like you'd super pickaxe hit, and in that time you'd normal pickaxe hit, super pickaxe, normal pickaxe, and you'd kind of just rotate. And you're just absolutely melting falls.
Well, you're going to be using the you and hell anyway, because you just do. So.
But yeah, if as far as pickaxe builds, it's godsend.
I think A,
Pickaxe
Harry's just actually
builds.
dumb. Like that is just wrong.
I don't. No, I don't like it. I don't think it's good. I really don't think it's good.
And you're entitled to your opinion, but it's wrong.
Ah, shit, man.
I respect your opinion, but you're wrong.
I mean, I agree with Tom's opinion, so it's right. There. So
Yeah.
where
hey.
would you say an A? Because I think what?
C in A.
I'd probably put it next to Seer and Hell, maybe behind Shield Link.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I don't think it's better than Shield Link or Dash,
Yeah, I mean it
but-
only helps you, and it's less helpful to you than Dash because of the cooldown.
That's.
at
I
least
think
you could
that's
use it
probably
without
why I
going
don't
down.
think it's good, because it's not that helpful in a team, and it's not really that helpful
Neither's
in
heightened
solo
senses,
either.
Harry, but you think it's S.
I don't. No, I don't actually.
No?
I back down on that.
Well, clearly it's in
And-
B.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was my actual grade for it.
Alright, well we've graded it. Next
No.
perk.
No.
Last perk.
No. No.
What do you mean?
No.
No, we did, Harry.
No. I said C, you two said A, so why don't we meet in the middle and put it in D?
Well, because that's where Beastmaster's got to go. Moving
What
swiftly
the
on.
shit? What?
As much as I don't 100% agree with what I just said,
You're gonna
I
get
just-
crucified.
I kind of agree with it. I don't like Beastmaster at all. For two reasons. First of all, I forget about it. Which I can't blame Beastmaster
That's
for.
not a real reason.
But it is, I think some abilities you have to. It's either got to be a pretty strong passive or remind you that you have it. But
Harry, say your piece, because I've got an opinion.
oh,
I don't really know what to say about Beastmaster.
you don't really do. You?
Tyler, you didn't actually say your second point.
I think it sucks. Just
That's
like
not a
actually
point.
though, because like if you use it on a normal grunt, any hazard that is above like 3 is just gonna die instantly. And even with slashers and grunts, they still die instantly.
Of the many to choose from.
Like
Um,
it's just so boring, and it also means that you're then walking into a swarm just trying to pat some bitches instead of killing things, and then everyone has to like not kill things because you want to tame something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't like it. I think it
To
honestly is
be
D.
honest, D. That's kind of weird.
I pick Hoverboots over it any day.
Whoa.
At least I don't die from full damage. I'd rather that than have a grunt just die over time.
Hold on. Do grunts have collision?
No.
No, they don't. Problem is, I don't feel anything towards Beastmaster.
Because it's shit.
It's not.
We need to let. Okay.
Well, clearly
okay.
Harry isn't. Harry,
I've
before
been
that.
boiling in the corner.
I like
It's
people who
so
use it.
good on Scout.
Why?
So good. Because not only does it kill things, which that's why you
Scout's
primarily go for a guard one. Because it distracts things.
Yeah,
Things
it's not
go
meant to
for
kill
it
things.
instead of you, which just means you take less damage. And if it's a guard grunt, by the time it dies, you've got it back again. So then you just go get another guard grunt. And it's easy to tame with no risk when you're a scout, because you just grab it and grapple away again. No risk at all. So there's no risk to getting it. it just saves your ass when you have it, because things target that instead of you, which means you can kill things easier and stay alive easier. And it kills things as well, saving ammunition, which is very valuable on a scout. I think on everyone else other than scout, it's pretty useless. Not useless. It's still good, but there's just better things you could put in, and I would never use it on anything other than scout. On scout, it is. I mean, I play around it as scout because it helps me so much.
Your entire build is linchpins on the fact that you have a grunt just involved.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
You got a grunt
like
build.
also if an oppressor goes for it, which means it will die, it's easy to kill the oppressor because the oppressor's just facing away from you and won't turn around to you.
I haven't used Beastmaster in a very long time, but I actually sometimes
don't know where I'd
when
put
I
it,
don't
though.
really feel
I think
too
probably
much
B.
need for heightened
Just 'cause
senses.
it's
I've
good
used
for
it on
scout.
engineer a fair bit actually when I'm playing on my own. I don't know. I think I mainly don't see what's too bad about it.
There's no negative at all, other than that there could be better perks to put on. Because just having something that does damage and
I
distracts
can think of
enemies
a
is just
negative.
good.
Because it doesn't
What?
just distract enemies. If you're in a team,
If you're an idiot,
Oh yeah, and Tyler, who's an absolute idiot and constantly
just
shoots
freeze-
your
I don't
Steve.
think it's
I
good.
just
I don't
freeze
think it's good
everything.
for multiplayer.
but yeah, you play with a green beard, GG.
Yeah,
Oh god,
don't,
yeah, the amount of
I
times
don't think it's a
has
good
that.
idea to bring in a.
I've had some like, level 1 gunner just shoots his entire ammo reserve
All
into the
3,000 minigun bullets
Yeah,
into
he's
Steve's
just got his minigun and just
1,500.
and just non-stop, and he overheats and just sits there, just following it. And then he's like, "Oh, he's got a resupply."
Takes 2.
Yeah, the gunner always takes 2.
I mean, I think D is no. I don't mean D, but
I think B really, just because it's good for scout and it's not bad for anyone else, just not good. Which is B is middle.
I don't think it. Problem is, I don't think it really has many negatives, but I also don't think there's much reason to use it.
yeah.
Unless you're scout, which is what I think.
Yeah,
There's not much
it's
reason to
all-
use it
it's-
other than scout.
It's really not that.
It is. It's so good.
Just either use pheromones or have an engineer run lure, or I don't know, play with teammates and use
I've never had an
teammates as
engineer
bait
run
or
lures.
something. I mean, I guess
B.
screw B then, but I'm
Rest
putting,
no
one
I'm
disagrees
putting it
with
lower
that.
than Iron Will. Because
Lower
Iron
than
Will's useful.
Only under specific circumstances, which Beastmaster's good under specific circumstances.
I think it
Oh,
does
you know what,
complement
actually?
engineer and scout fairly well.
What's that? What is it? The modifier. Regenerative bugs.
Oh baby, regenerative bugs.
You put Beastmaster on a slash on regenerative bugs, and it kills, and it won't die.
Isn't there also another one where bugs do more damage?
Lethal enemies, yeah, but he's just gonna get killed.
Yeah, he's just gonna die anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But slashers, they're really good at killing, like normally, because also the bug has like a damage bonus, I'm pretty sure, or just a health bonus.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it does
think you could,
300% more damage, and a slasher already does a shit ton, and a slasher just carves through grunts. But it just doesn't
Well,
last very long, which is why I
I'm
normally
gonna
go guard, because
what I'm
I
gonna
need
say
it as
is-
bait.
Heightened senses and dash is like my go-to for everyone when I'm on solo. If I didn't feel the need for heightened senses, which I shouldn't, I would be using Beastmaster instead on solo. Because there's not much reason not to. Because or Berserker actually. Or, weirdly
Can we
enough.
put it above Iron Will?
I want to put it. Yeah, I kind of think it's better than both heightened senses and Iron Will, to be honest.
I don't think it provides the same level of usefulness that either of those do.
We see to bit in the pass.
Well, it's purely like based on our opinions on what we use. Harry would use it because he's solo, and I would use it because I'm scout. Tyler isn't solo or scout, so it's useless to him. It's just purely our playstyles at this point.
That seems correct. I don't know. Maybe we should just put it in B, because you seem to put it in B.
I have put it in B.
I just want to see what people have to say about Beastmaster.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the actual consensus is in terms of how good it is. I just know that people like it because it's of Steve.
Yeah, that is true. It is also just Steve. It's fun.
Yeah.
To have a
You
Steve.
can pet him, which is a
can pet
downside
him.
actually, because you
You can
keep
make him
accidentally petting
naked.
him instead of reloading.
Yeah.
You can make him naked.
Yeah, like or petting Steve instead of rezzing. The amount of times I've been absolutely furious because you guys have been down or whatever, and I'm like running in to res you guys quickly as a scout,
Steve.
and, and my hand just starts petting. I'm like,
You're a
"Ah!"
good boy.
I think B works because it has limited uses, but not any real.
How long's its
downsides.
cooldown? Have you looked at that?
Oh.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah, but it's
Oh,
hold on.
Berserker's 4.
Doesn't okay? Hold on a minute. It recharges while you have one, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
while you have one, which is why
Yeah.
if you have a guard, by the time he's dead, you got it back again. Unless an oppressor's come along. Oppressors just murder Steves. They don't stand a chance.
I've seen
And
Steve's beat oppressors.
no, only if something else damages them. Like a Steve can kill a Praetorian, but an oppressor just kills them. They don't, because they're attacking it from the front where they do no damage, and the oppressor's attacking it with its close range horn attack, which does so much, and it's doing that constantly
Yeah,
to the Steve because
the
it doesn't push the
oppressor's,
Steve away.
The oppressor's direct melee attack is one of the unspoken horrors of TikTok.
Yeah. And Steve doesn't get thrown away, so the oppressor can just do it one after the other until he's dead. And Steve doesn't do any damage to the oppressor because Steve's attacking from the front. It's just
No,
brutal
he does.
watching
No,
it occur.
because you can damage an oppressor with melee attacks anywhere, and they have a weakness to melee.
Ah,
So Steve can
might be
kill
why they've been
oppressors.
able to kill them.
That's
But
one of his best
they normally
uses. I mean, it
die.
will probably get him killed, but it's
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, and also it distracts the oppressive one, like I said, which
we're
is
not
nice.
really going anywhere from here. We're not really saying anything.
No, just
It's
I'm
in
fine
B.
with it. We're just talking about it a bit more.
It's not going to go up. I
No,
don't think it's going to go down either, though.
no, I don't think it deserves to go up, but I don't think it deserves to go down.
So let's
Which
do a
means it's in the
brief-
right position.
Brief overview. So, I mean, honestly, this has been more divisive than we thought it would be. Let's get this out of the way, because
Because of our different play
The
styles.
passive went, I think we were generally quite agreeing on most of them. But I think
I'm gonna
like-
go through my list.
two or three of these each we would disagree on and would move. But okay, our only S tier is field medic.
Yeah.
Do we agree?
Yeah.
I agree that it's S tier, but I kind of feel like it shouldn't be on its own.
Next up, if we were to go from left to right, dash.
Yeah.
So
Good.
we think, field medic would be the first one, and then dash. Followed up by shield link, which I think
Yeah.
is
Fair.
Berserker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
See you in
Because
hell.
Dash and Shield Link are two pillars of the establishment, really, aren't they? And then See You in Hell is just the real A tier.
Yeah.
And Dash and Shield Link are for two very different things, really. Although Dash is better because
B,
it's Dash.
heightened senses.
Did you skip over Iron Will? I think you did.
Iron
Oh,
will.
I don't. Oh, what? Where's Iron Will for you?
Heightened senses, iron will, Beastmaster.
Right. Yeah.
I want Beastmaster higher, but I'm willing to accept it there.
I think that. I think realistically, Beastmaster is probably better than Heightened Senses. Realistically, because Heightened Senses is just a handicap, basically. for handicapped people.
Handicapped
myself.
people being, the ones that just don't hear a single stray, like, cave leech.
Cave leech. They
or a
they don't really
troller,
make much of a noise.
or a Bacteria grabber. There's a lot of things that this kicks in for, and the fact that it makes available insta-killing something is pretty useful, especially if it's like an elite Bacteria grabber.
Oh baby.
So can you tame an elite guard?
Grunt? No.
Then yeah, Beastmaster can stay there. Go rot in a hell.
Go in a hell.
Yeah, whichever hell you believe.
One of them.
Yeah. So there hasn't been any disagreements thus far.
And Hoverboots in sea.
Now,
Yes.
I did actually not
Yes.
mention Berserker. Which
You
is
did.
funny, because where?
Hey.
Dash,
Oh.
Shield, Link, Berserker, see you in hell.
Right.
Damn it, Harry.
Is that one of them that you disagree quite heavily on? Actually, we knew that
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think we did good. I think that is a pretty well-rounded and accurate representation. I disagree with the placement somewhat, but overall I think it works for the
Yeah.
majority of people.
The only thing that doesn't quite work for me is Field Mate just feels lonely, but I can't.
It
I feel like
does,
it's
but
fine.
you can't push
know,
anything up.
Hoverboots is also at the bottom, so it's
Yeah, but
Nobody disagrees
It's just
Hoverboots is
deserve
at the
to be
bottom, though.
alone.
lots of people would definitely disagree that Hoverboots is at the bottom. Bear in mind, none of them are in D.
Well, those people need to get some bitches.
None of them are in D. None of them.
I'd like to point out the fact that I haven't ranked Berserker on my list. I'm going to use it. I need to use it, really.
Yes.
None of them are D. All of these are more than usable and perfectly reasonable given the right character. Unlike Strong Arm.
Perks.
Strong Arm!
It's a bug thing.
Strong Arm.
And I'm pretty sure Friendly was our
What do you
bottom
mean?
three.
It's a bug thing is just as useful on everyone. That being not there or at all.
Yeah. So all of these are perfectly usable, but if you're
Hoverboots
playing
needs a
with
buff.
people, Field Medic is definitely where you want to go. But if you're the one going down all the time, see you in hell. And I think that's all you need to take away from this. Otherwise,
Yeah, see
do
you in
what
hell.
want.
That's all you need to take away.
Yeah, all you need to take away is go die.
Yeah, go Tyler.
Go dine a coal.
No, I said hole.
Sound like you said coal.
I didn't.
Yeah, well, I don't believe you.
What?
I don't believe you.
Tough.